Okay, quick thoughts on the AFC East heading into the 2025 season. So, starting out with the Bills, obviously, because really they're the only team that's likely going to be relevant again this year. Um, although defense isn't, I don't think the defense is going to be great. I think the offensive line is going to be very helpful for them to have Josh Allen, James Cook back there. I mean, Deion Dawkins, I like everyone else. Um, the biggest issue I think the Bills will have, though, is I mean, I like Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. I think those two guys are typically reliable week to week. You know what you're getting with those guys. I think it really I don't like the receivers this year. I don't. There's, I mean, Coleman has ups and downs, drops issues, I injuries. I do not. I think all four AFC East teams are probably bottom 10 rosters overall in the NFL. I think the Bills win the division handily, but I think this is the weakest team they've had recently. I mean, bringing back Trey White, who just hasn't been himself. I don't trust the Bills outside of Josh Allen, James Cook, and really those are the only two guys I think I really trust to perform week in week out this year. Um, I just it's nothing for me on the Bills this year. Last year they were my Super Bowl pick. I just don't think they have the team this year. Plus, I think that there's other teams outside the division, especially in the AFC, that got a lot better. Um, I mean, plus, on to the Patriots. Mike Vrabel, um, one of the best coaches in the NFL. It was a mistake by Tennessee not to give him more control when the guy, GM Robinson, traded away AJ Brown, and you could see on Mike Vrabel's reaction to that. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" Like he's our best player besides Derrick Henry, and like I would have wanted more power there too if the GM did some dumb shit. Big mistake for them to fire him. I think that Vrabel's probably gonna win Coach of the Year. I like Drake May. I like Ramondre Stevenson. Diggs back from injury. I'm not sure how he's going to be um, there, but I do think that when he's healthy, he'll be big for Drake May at the very least. Um, I really like Drake May. I like the offensive line. Um, Defensively, Christian Gonzalez, I like. Not I think he had some injuries last year, and when he was healthy, I don't think he was as good as he was as a rookie. But I think he is going to be really good, especially since outside of Um, I don't think there's really the only two or three, I guess, receivers that would scare me as a defense in the AFC East. Tyreek Hill, if when he's going, Jalen Waddle, just the pure explosive ness, and Garrett Wilson, who I is probably the best receiver in the division, and when I say probably, he is, and it's not really close. I Drake May is going to get some MVP votes this year. I think having Josh McDaniels is going to be great. Having him back there because not a good head coach, not a guy that you want to run a team, but I'm not sure there's five better OCs in the NFL than Josh McDaniels over the last 20 years total. Um, it's it's a weak division. I'll say that. Um, so Dolphins, since I talked about them a bit, I do not. As a Steelers fan, I do like that Jalen Ramsey trade. Uh, Mika Fitzpatrick has not. I loved him the first few years in Pittsburgh. Really lost his step. I thought the last couple years, especially being one of those center fielders out at safety. Just when you're one of those guys and you don't have the speed to catch up to balls that he was able to get to previously, that's a huge problem. Just because it's so much easier to get beat over the top. Johnny Smith, huge loss too. I think Johnny Smith, one of the best tight ends in football, and um, I love Chop Robinson. I like Jalen Phillips. I like D tackle Ziegler. There is a Tyreek Hill. I feel conflicted on because I do not know if he's going to be just based really on like the last year and then heading into this year. I don't know how committed he is. I'm not sure on Mike McDaniel as well. I think he's a great offensive guy, but he doesn't seem to me at least have the demeanor to be a head coach for a team that is not doing well. I just again, I don't have any inside information. I don't know how things are going day to day basis, but it's if I were a Dolphins fan, I would not have um, much faith in Mike McDaniel. Just don't know how that goes, but yeah, Dolphins. I like Malik Washington. I knew I was forgetting something. Malik Washington, explosive. Uh, I think uh, Achan fast, but I think he's someone like Christian Watson who they're almost too fast to the point where they get injured. I think Jalen Waddle has had the same issue too. So if they could stay on the field, I think there's a few players on the Dolphins that are good. But again, I do not think the teams in the AFC East are built well outside of quarterback with Josh Allen and Drake May. I don't trust Tua to stay healthy. I do not think he does well under pressure. Each time, I don't think the offensive line has really been like given him much time or protection. He's get a lot of gets hit a lot, and just under pressure, he rushes it a lot more than I think he did as rookie in his first few years after all the concussions. As far as the Jets, they are the New York Jets, and that is a fact. I have said since before the 2021 NFL draft that Justin Fields is a bust. And I have also said that has nothing to do with him decommitting from Penn State, going to Georgia, and then Ohio State. Absolutely nothing to do with that, and I swear I'm right. He's a bust. Despite having to root for him last year. Brees Hall, I feel like he is a guy who is always going to be higher on fantasy football boards than actual boards. I mean, he's explosive. He's good out of the backfield. I think he also needs a lot better of an offensive line to be able to get to the outside and do what he's best at. I think that Justin Fields should help him a bit with that. And again, I say Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, outside of quarterbacks, might be the best player in this division. He is just smooth routes. He's got speed, great after catch, elusive. The only defect he has is that he plays for the New York Jets. Yeah, I am very conflicted on this division just because I could see the Bills win this division. Really, it is like 95%. I think there's like a 5% chance that the Patriots win this division just because they have the best coach in the division. They had the second best quarterback, and they had the best offensive coordinator in the division. So if I were to pick a team other than the Bills to win this division, it would be the Patriots, and then I would just turn off the other games because again, the rosters aren't there. Okay, like, subscribe, talk some shit in the comments. Don't care.